Alright, so this is my first attempt at a video. Um, I have a lot of tarot decks, around 30 at last count, and one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube, especially when I'm looking to get a new deck, is the flip throughs. So I thought I would try making some of those just to kind of get into the whole video tarot thing. So I'm going to start with my newest Oracle deck that I've been using a lot lately, and that's the Mother Mary Oracle, and it's a beautiful, beautiful deck. Got it upside down. The cards, the artwork is by Shiloh Sofia McCloud. There's 44 cards, and they're just beautiful representations of Mother Mary. And while to me that is not necessarily a Catholic association, it can be any goddess, and it can be very Catholic, which is why I got this deck. It reminds me so much of my mother. She was a Catholic who had kind of lapsed from the church and had a lot of issues with the church, but she never quite gave up the Mother Mary. It was always her comfort. She would do the rosary. She had a rose garden with a statue of Mary in it. So this reminded me very much of my mother, and that's why I got it. That's why I've been working with it so much. So this box is actually pretty nice. I have my cards in this Tweety bag because, well, that belonged to my mother, so it seemed fitting. And then it comes with this very nice book. A lot of detail for each of the cards. Cards are all numbered, so there's an index, and then there's kind of talk about how to invite the Mother Mary energy into your life. A few decks, the past, present, future, the Descending Grace layout. I haven't tried this one yet, but that one looks quite good. And then for each of the cards, we get a message from that oracle, from that particular card, up here in italics. And then there's discussion of interpreting the cards, what the message could be. And then at the very end for each card, there's a healing visualization and an affirmation that you can do to connect with that card and with that aspect of the mother and that energy. So as for the cards, mine are modified because I have teeny tiny hands and the cards were just too big for me to manipulate. So this white border actually went all the way around, and it had this second red border all the way around, and I have trimmed those down just to make them a little bit easier for me to use. I also went around and edged them with just a red Crayola marker and kind of give it a nice finished look. So first card, Our Lady of the Sacred Hearth, and you can see how on the picture in the box, you can see how the border would go around each card. So what I did was I trimmed off the border on 3 sides and then left the bottom so that I could have the words. And I like the font that it uses, but I also think that the artwork really pops without the border. It just is much more present, more in the forefront. So with our flip through, Our Lady of the Sacred Hearth, Our Lady of the Whispering Heart. I just love the flowers and the hearts and the serenity on the faces on all of these cards. I find it to be very, very comforting. And again, it's something that I've been working with because it reminds me of my mother. So the mother images speak to me very strongly right now. There's also a lot of birds and eggs in these cards. There's our cover picture. They're just pretty cards. And they make me feel loved. They make me feel comforted. And the guidance that I found in the book so far has been very spot on with the feelings that I'm getting from these cards. A lot of flowers, a lot of hearts. This has the words, Lady Hope hears our heart. Our Lady of Truth. And you see that different cards have different colored borders, which is also part of why I edged it in red. Gave it kind of more of a uniform look from the side. Not an important thing, but just something that I enjoyed. Our Lady who prevents interference. Couldn't we all use that sometimes? This is one of my favorites. I just love the colors and the visuals of it. And how much space she takes up, I guess. Our Lady who sends the angels. This is very much the traditional Mary image with the blue. Our Lady of the Sacred Waters. Our Lady of Growth Assured. This was my card today, actually. And it's a nice reminder that the universe's time cannot be rushed. You know, the manifestations and the intentions can be there, but your timing is not always your own. Our Lady who gives peace. Again, there's the birds with the 3 eggs. Our Lady of Radiant Grace. Look at that crown. Our Lady of Nourishment. Kind of an impressionistic view. Our Lady of Divine Direction. There's just so much detail in all of these cards that I feel like I could find something new every time I looked at them for years. Our Lady of the Sweet Rest. It's okay to take a nap. That's always a good message for these days. Our Lady of Love, Our Lady of Comfort, and finally Our Lady of Charity. So there are 44 cards in this deck. The back has the roses, and again you can see how my trimming, because I did go straight down on those, there is an indication of which is upright and which is reversed, but since I don't read these reversed, it is not an issue for me. So they are just really, really pretty cards. Cardstock is flexible but sturdy, so I can get a good shuffle out of them, a good rifle and bridge, which is something I couldn't really do when they were full size because, again, I have the teeny fingers. Overhand, I kind of bobble them a little bit because, oh my goodness, my camera's kind of right down there. I can't get enough space. But they're just beautiful, beautiful cards, and I'm really enjoying working with them. So that is my first tarot flip through video, and we'll see how that goes.